Hey, welcome and happy Wednesday. You are on Heart of Success show with me, Larisa Vakulina, and I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time. And this show is all about success. I was talking many times about success and how in our society we perceive success mostly about obtaining wealth, positions, and favors. And today I would like to really show you that there are so many successful entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professional people that are so successful in their businesses and professional life, but many of them are feeling really unfulfilled in their lives. They have areas of their lives like relationships with their loved ones, relationships with children. They have some problems with their health and some symptoms of unwellness. They don't dedicate their times for what they love to do. So this is really one-sided success. And what this one-sidedness of success is really not healthy and not really balanced. And eventually that will lead into the huge, deep crisis. And also, when I was leading my international business years ago, I was really successful. And when I would look at my profit and loss statement and all these financial papers, I would really see the huge success in that financial business area. But I couldn't really ever even match that success with my inner experience. And I was always asking myself a question. It's how that is possible that I'm so successful in this, business that I'm in, and I'm putting all my efforts and all my time and all my energy in there. And I'm looking at that profit and loss statement and I see the great figures there, but inside, I don't feel that same level of success. Inside, I feel exhausted. Inside, I feel really empty. Inside, I felt like I'm losing connection with my loved ones because I don't have time and energy to spend with them. So, and for me, in that profit and loss statement really didn't make sense in terms of like how is possible to achieve success inside and out in the same level. So I really was wondering why we are kind of glossing over the reality of our inner experience by only showing this outside performance and business performance in terms of making money. So for me, I was thinking that there is a lack of reflection of full resources that we put into that success. So we put in a lot of our energy, we put a lot of sleepless nights, we put a lot of emotional struggles, and we put a lot of mental activities into these businesses that we are in or professional lives that we are in. But we never ever reflect these resources that we put into our business in our financial statements. So for me, that was a little bit of the disbalance in itself. So it means that success that we all looking for in outside of ourselves not necessarily matching the success that we not feeling inside. So I'm just contemplating on this concept, and I was thinking for a long time about how we can start to look at it in a truthful sense, that we need to start to have this, reflection in our financial statements in terms of like return on your trust, or return on your love and kindness, return on your honesty. how can we measure these intangible assets that we all as entrepreneurs and business people put in fully into the developing of our businesses and achieving this higher success of you making money and being popular and wherever we have the things that we do in our lives, right? So for me, that was really one-sidedness that not counted the reality of our inner experience. And by thinking long time about this concept, I am contemplating right now on the model that I called it RSM model. It is regenerative success model that is including all these inner assets that we all have within ourselves, but we're not counting when we actually investing in our businesses and our activities that we do. So that's what I mean about success. And when I'm looking at all this disbalanced success that many people have, and they go years and years and years with all this one-sidedness, one-focused attention, and then they just not paying attention to all the important areas of our human experience in our lives, that we eventually not really enjoying the success that we creating in our professional life. So basically today I also would like to share with you that we have these intentions within ourselves. It is so important to understand this area of ourselves, that the leadership crisis that we now all observing and all feeling in our society is that we don't understand that just by outside masks we can really speak about like I love you, but there could be some other level of the love that is actually saying, well, I hate you, really. It's like this mismatching of our outer functioning and our inner feelings in reality is a negative intention. And also the negative intention sits on the it sits on the concept that we all would like to receive and have everything that we want. We want money, we want wealth, we want health, we want admiration, we want love, we want understanding. But do we ever ask ourselves questions? Do I really willing to give that understanding, admiration, love, and support to others? So mostly what we want to receive more than we willing to give. So in this difference is really creating that conflict, the inner and outer conflict. So today I want to really share with you my own personal experience about intentional leading. I remember days when I was leading my international business. I was trained by, all these business institutions about different models and concepts of leading. And I would never try to display and tap into that inner space of my feeling, and how do I really can employ that inner space into creating a little bit different leading strategy that can help me to achieve more and perform more and have more benefits. So basically, when I purchased my property back some years ago, and when I went through a deep crisis, my personal and illness crisis, and all the crises that I went through, I remember I was sitting here on my property, and I promised one thing for myself. I promised that I'm not going to settle for a normal, acceptable way of doing things here. I'm not going to settle on the normal way of providing services and jobs and things like that. And when I start to investigate what I have here, what facilities I have, what infrastructure I have, sadly as it is, I realized that there was a little bit of, dysfunction in, let's say, collecting rainwater into the water tanks, and, and it is a life supporting infrastructure that needs to be here for me to be able to live here and also to serve the others. So I decided that the first and the most important things for me is to attend all of these infrastructures that are not perfect or not functioning good enough to actually repair or create the new ones. And I started to pull the team of people to help me to implement and install much more bigger and much more reliable water collection system. And I purchased 30,000 liters of water tanks and some pipes and things. And I pulled together about 5 or 6 people who are plumbers, electricians, earth workers, engineers, and all of these people being from all different walks of life. Like it's just a different tradespeople that are needed to come together to perform and do this project for me. And I myself have an engineering background, which of course I didn't really practice a lot, and I didn't really know how to help in that area of the engineering. But what I knew that I would like to take a new leading approach to this project. And basically, when I got all of these 7 or 8 people here on my property, I talked to them honestly, and I said to them that I would like to tell you that this is an unusual project. It's not something that you would just go to some place and repair something and just do your job and leave and never ever remember that. This project is for the benefit of many people, and I would like you to be open in your mind that there is a few things that I need to do with you that would be very different from what you used to have in when you do job for other people. So number one, I asked them if there are anyone that is smoking. So there've been a couple of people that have been smokers, and I didn't demand them not to smoke, but I asked them to not to smoke on my property. And one person was so unflexible and not accepting. He basically said, no, I'm not agreeing on that. And I let that person go because I knew that I'm not settling on just something that is like, if that person even had the best technical skill, but if that person personally is not flexible and is not really wanting to respect my desire and wish for my property not to have that smoking here, so I let him go. Another person was very flexible, and he said, okay, I understand. I will be, controlling myself, and I will be seeing how I go. And if I would feel that I'm cannot cope with that, I will tell you. So other people have been agreeing on experiment that I actually explained for them, that we're going to have the experiment of how we can align our intentions and how we can actually create the higher purpose for this project to take off and go through. So I had, the budget, I had the time frame, I had the resources all in place. And first day when all these different people come to start their job, I asked them to come inside of the house. And at that time, I didn't have a lot of furniture. in here, but I dedicated one empty room for these people to come and sit down with me. And I said, I only need 10 minutes of your time. I had these big cushions and low chairs around, and I said, come on, guys, let's go. We're just going to sit down and we're going to just put intention together for the day. That was really uncomfortable for them. I could see how there was just this resistance, there was some doubt, there was all of this kind of, sense of like what we're doing here, why we're here, we need to get to work. But I asked them that this is what I ask you to do. Every morning, we're going to get together and we sit in a circle and we need to put intention together. So the first date, I was really an experiment, and they all come in. And if you can imagine, tradesmen, big men, they've been sitting in these cushions or lower chairs, and they've been really feeling uncomfortable, and they've been looking at each other, and kind of I could feel how their energy was contracted. They didn't feel comfortable. They didn't feel that this is something that they would like to do. But because they've been saying yes when I explained for them, they felt like they would like to stay. And when I basically just asked them to close their eyes, and I was guiding them through through this setting up intention in terms of how I would like them to work on this on this property in a project that was for them for about 4 weeks of project, digging, putting pipes, and putting all these 5 big huge water tanks, connecting and doing all of this work. Number one, what I said to them, I said, I really would like you to ask one favor. Every morning when you go through the gate to this property, I would like you to leave everything that you have in your life, all your conflicts, all your problems, all your limitations, on everything that's going on in your life behind that gate. To the extent, to the level of your, of your ability. I don't know how able you to do that, but if you can remember in the morning when you cross the gate, can you please just have that memory of that I need to leave everything behind that gate. When you go into this property, I want you to open up your mind and your system to understand that this project is not simply for a residential property that for some family that lives here, but this project is for the benefit of many people that are gonna to come and benefit in terms of aligning themselves, healing themselves, being here and having that the growth and development or just rest. So, and basically we've been sitting for 10 minutes, and I was telling them that they need to align that purpose, that they are a part of some grander plan. They are part of some vision and purpose that is for the benefit of many people. And after 10 minutes of just sitting, closing their eyes and aligning themselves, they would go and start to do the job. So that was basically a routine that I implemented for these people that are from different trades to be coming together to this property and get together for some time, a very short period of time. And then next morning we did the same. And then next morning we did the same. So after about 3 days, I start to feel that their system, and they start to feel so relaxed. They actually already been waiting until before they start their work to come inside and sit on these cushions and chairs and relax themselves into it. And I could feel how different their energies become when they allow themselves and trust into the process of just coming together before they start their physical and engineering technical work. So after 1 week of doing it, one day I was not here in the morning when they arrived, and I received a call from the engineer and saying, where are you? We cannot start the work because every time we go to do something, everything is falling out of our hands. We found that there's really no flow of work without you getting us together. I said, well, why are you able to do it yourself? Just go sit on the grass near the house, get into the circle, and you can lead for 10 minutes exactly what I was telling you to do. So I think there was another morning that they were without me, and that's what they did. And what in a week time, what they all reported is that they wanted to come here to work. They also reported that they feel that the flow of work and all the process was much, much smoother. There was a respectful and very constructive discussions about different processes and resolutions of some technical issues that they would have there. And so these guys become part of this big project that was actually for the benefit of many people. So they've been attached to that idea, and they start to belong to the purpose of this project, bigger purpose, not only the purpose of performing technical task and make that job good. It was also the inner experience was aligned with what they trying to do outside. So it was an interesting experience. And then in about beginning of the third week, I was just also taking risk to get them more involved in that project. And when I bought the property, the name of this place was Black Billy Farm. So for me, that was really not resonated back then with what I'm gonna to do. It's like, that Black Billy Farm is something different, and the intention behind that name was not really matching what I was planning to do here. And I was just thinking to myself, well, I have this 6-7 people here. I know they're all technicians and engineers and plumbers and electricians and whatever you have there, but they also aligned with what I asked them to do, and they put in their all into performing this building infrastructure. And I asked them one day, I said, you know what, I really would like you to maybe put your minds and hearts together into naming this place. I just didn't know how I can do it by myself. And that was interesting that next day when we've been sitting in a circle, I just said, you know what, I'm not forcing you or anything, but is there any ideas that you would feel that this place would be somehow more aligned with what I'm doing here, and the name will be more appropriate? And one person was very interesting because he was studying Sanskrit, and so basically he started to throw different sounds in the Sanskrit language about heart. For example, it was Ka, about the god of sun, which is Ra in Sanskrit language, and then all of these sounds of the Ka, the Ra, and it is become Askara. So someone named it, and it was like just resonating so much, and I was thinking I would contemplate on this name, and eventually that name became the name of the place of my wellness center, which is Askara. So basically, I just gave you an example of how intentional leading is starting with ourselves. So from that negative intention of receiving and having more than you can give, we can change to the intention of giving it all, of having honesty to explain to the teams of the vision, the purpose, the desires, and all of this can be done in a very simple, authentic way. Basically, what I noticed after that project was completed, that there was a unlimited number of benefits of doing this, but mainly I can point it to you four very huge benefits that I personally received from having experimented in such a way, is that I felt like I created the feeling of belonging, purpose, and willingness to give it all for these people. So they've been wanting to come here. They've been waiting to come here. They've been putting their all their best they could to put into that project, working together smoothly and without any blockages or or the stops, I would say. So that's the benefit number one, is sense of belonging, purpose, and willingness to give it all. Then there were also, what I noticed, there was a very respectful and constructive discussions between those people. They didn't have this sense of competition, who is better, and who is what, and all of these equipments and materials and wherever they had this very respectful resolutions and discussions about creating value and quality. So then the fourth one was that such a smooth flow of work was created by these people being aligned together. There was no conflicts or arguments. There was no blockages or misunderstanding. There was a very constructive resolutions and discussions about everything. And then the fourth one, really important one, is that I saved so much on this project by inviting these people to do it a certain way. Number one, I saved time, because that project was planned to be completed in 4 weeks' time. We completed it in 3 weeks' time. Fully, just all good quality job in 3 weeks' time. I saved so much finances on that week that I was planning to have the budget, right? In material, I saved so much. And also emotionally, we saved so much of the stress of disagreement, or the angriness, or the dissatisfaction, or the frustration. All of these things didn't exist in that project. So, and the fourth one is a ripple effect. When we finished that project and all these people went back to their lives and back to their jobs, I know for sure, because I received number of messages from these people, that they start to practice their own inner setting intention for a days that they are living in their own lives. So this provide for them a framework that attention or relationship to their work can be very different. So I'm so glad you're here, guys, and I know you're talking. Sorry not to really paying attention to that, but I really wanted to really just take it all out of me, and I can come to you here. And I'm so happy you're here, MJ. Thank you so much for jumping on to my show. And success goes far beyond dollars and cents. That's absolutely sure. And I am experiencing this now constantly with any projects, big or small. I am, I'm experimenting with all of these, substances of that inner asset that we all have, and that personalities that are willing to open up, willing to really be flexible and follow that strategy, I would say. Tatiana, I'm so happy you here. I just cannot really express my gratefulness and joy to see you here with me. It is really, it is so important for me, and your help and support is just so invaluable. I still feel really fearful to be exposed like that, to be in front of you in such a form. But I believe that sharing with you my own experiences and what I am gaining from that experiences, and also the knowledge of my past business and knowledge of my new profession and experiences of what I'm doing here is I hope possibly can help you too. Trading time for money is not the answer. Absolutely, absolutely, MJ. Thank you. So, so what prevents leaders today to lead with intention, in your opinion? Okay, this is what is really a big area of the current reality and a shift that we all going in. It is a lack of self-knowledge. It is a lack of self-awareness and lack of utilizing that higher faculties and the intelligence of our senses. So we basically contributing one-sidedly only into that one area of the success. How about if we can contribute and build our love bank, our trust bank, our kindness bank, our positive intention bank? How about if we can focus on these assets so that we then can share it with others, so that we can lead from that places? But because right now many people are putting focus and intention only on developing our intellectual abilities and our logical thinking, despite of all of this power of the creative thinking and also the power of our senses, we kind of disregard them. We're not looking at these areas because we cannot measure it. But how about this is the measure? This example that I was sharing with you, it is very measurable. It is very measurable. It is measurable in a very huge way, saving so much of that tangible resources and making this project into much more value and quality than really in an ordinary situation when the tradesmen do their job. They just do it, they leave, and if there's something happening with what he or she done, you know, the customers and clients are left with just that level of performance. So let's see another. Most of the leaders I came across in my professional life are just random people put in a position of power. Absolutely. Well, because in our society, we value more of the official education and certification and all of these level and standards of that knowledge that people would hold and have within themselves. But it's like, how about we can combine inner and outer? And when we learn how we can combine the inner and outer and learn about ourselves, about all of these places that we all have, and we all have this unlimited capacity for love, trust, kindness, for integrity, for honesty. We only not looking at these areas. And that's what I'm creating, that RMSM model, the regenerative success model, which is part of the Ascara method gonna be when my program is completed. So I invite leaders to start to look at all of these areas, and that model that I'm creating can really quickly show you how you can have return on love, how can you have return on the trust, on integrity, on honesty, on positive intention. And once we retrain ourselves from that negative intention to positive, then there is another step that we can start to have effortless intention. This is gonna become a way of how we live and function. This is gonna be becoming the way we live and the way we lead and the way we work and the way we have relationships. It would become this effortless flow of the all faculties that we have and all who we are. So I think I kind of, oh, Vicky, thank you, Vicky, you here. Yes, combine the inner and the outer. Thank you so much of being with me here. I'm so grateful, guys, you supporting me. This is really invaluable for me. I need to have a glass of water. Thank you. So, yes, Vicky saying, I love this show, Larissa, intentional leadership. Yeah, I am myself still learning all these steps, and I'm still learning. But the main point when I made decision that I'm gonna to practice and learn intentional leadership, when I promised myself not to settle on something that is not resonating with my truth and with my integrity, with my honesty. And that's what I'm translating to all people that come here to work for me and being with me, and all the other people that are coming for training and wellness centers. So MJ saying holistic leadership. We can call it that because it is all areas that we need to pay attention to. It's like that areas that mostly ignored in our modern reality, and that the success race that I'm seeing everywhere. So success race that we all trying to be running after that success. So the holistic approach is much more it gives you success in all areas of your life. It will be then matching your profit and loss statement with your successful figures and your inner experience that you going through. And if that matches, well, this is real success. So I would like to leave you with that today, and I would see you next week again on Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time. And also just stay tuned in about my creations of the regenerative success model and also the Ascara method. Thank you so much. And I just love you all, guys. You're my heroes.